This video is long, so I am going to upload this video in 2 parts. Please watch both parts so that you're able to prepare better for the Precas or visa interview, because a lot of schools have started doing Precas interviews, and you don't know if you will be selected for the visa interview. So please watch both parts so that you are better prepared for your Precas or visa interview. Recently, one of my group member posted a visa refusal letter in the group. Most of the time, if you are refused a student visa after you've been interviewed, they would write why you were not given the visa. So in the letter, which I will put up, they explained the reasons why the person was not given the visa, because the way the person answered the question was not in line with what they wanted, and it did not show that the person was a serious student. So for that reason, the person was denied a student visa. Also, a member of my group that I knew that had gotten an offer and was on the Precas level kind of approached me and said that he thinks that his admission might have been revoked because he did the Precas interview twice and he's not getting any feedback. When he told me some of the questions that were asked, which is similar to the visa interview questions, I was like, okay, it seems I have to do a video where I'm going to explain how to answer visa interview questions, because I think a lot of people don't understand the technique and the tips and tricks that you need to use to be able to answer the visa questions correctly and properly. So in this video, I'll be sharing some tips and tricks on how to answer visa or Precas interview questions. I would also be answering the way it's supposed to be answered. So I'm going to answer some questions like as if I'm being interviewed by the visa officers, so that you can have an idea of what they want. I will also list some of the questions that are mostly asked during these interviews. So if you want to be able to pass your visa interview or Precas interview once, please keep on watching.
Everybody know I'm a visual. Yeah, I kill it cold like a criminal. I'm everybody's type, but nobody can deny. Yes, you know I get it, I'm getting freaky, yeah, I'ma bring the crazy. Get that freaky on, get that freaky on. Getting freaky, get it right.
Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Omomi, aka Petite Diva, and I am a University of Nottingham alumni and also a Development Solutions Scholarship Award winner. In this educational series, I talk about the UK admission process, I talk about the UK visa application process, I talk about tips and tricks to enjoy your stay as an international student in the UK, and I also talk about tips and tricks on how to earn more money as an international student. So if you like videos such as this and you are not yet subscribed, please consider subscribing by clicking on the red button that says subscribe, and don't forget to click on the bell notification icon by the side so that you'll be notified anytime I upload videos. Now, before we continue with this video, I just want to remind you that I offer some UK educational services. Right now, I'm only offering my UK admission package. And the UK admission package comprises of me curating courses and schools that best fit you, helping you to write the SOP after consultation with you, also helping to write the academic CV that will help to boost your chances of getting an offer, and also helping you with the application process so that your application is as smooth as possible. Now, I have 2 packages depending on your educational background and professional experience. If you want to use my service, please send a mail to the email address on the screen. When sending me a mail, please send me all your documents and be specific in what you want. Let me know what course you are thinking of studying, and also some personal things that will help me. Please don't send me mails and asking me, can you give me names of schools that have low tuition fee and all those things. I will not answer you. If you want to use my service, that is when you send me a mail. Please don't send me mails that are funny. And remember, send me all your documents so that I can review you. Then I will let you know if you fit into my clientele and how much it costs, so that you already know what the implication of working with me is. Also, you can join the Telegram group. The Telegram group is where it is. Now there are 2 Telegram groups, the January and the September. The September is not really open anymore. So the link that will be in the description box is the January Telegram group. So if you are for January 2024, please check it out and join the group. It's going to get live very soon because it's already application time for January 2024. So please, you can join the Telegram group to get real-time information about the whole application process, admission, and the rest. Also, if you want to use my service, you can join the Telegram group, then send me a private message. So with all that said, let's get into this video. Now, the visa interview, Precas interview can be very scary because it's something that you might not have done before and you don't know what they're going to ask. But in this video, I'm going to share some of the things that they usually ask and some tips and tricks so that you can be confident and answer the questions correctly so that you can get your student visa without any issue. One thing I would say, with visa interviews, you have to be composed, you have to be confident, and some of the things that I'm going to say is going to actually help with the confidence. So let's get into the video. So here are some of the things that can help you to be successful at your Precas or visa interview. Now, the first thing I would say is choose a course that you love and choose a course that you have an educational background or professional experience in it. And why I say that is because if you already know about the course, if you've already been in the course, not really directly, like, okay, for a community pharmacist, you might not be really into public health, but your health education, anytime somebody comes to you for an advice and you begin, or a professional advice, and you begin to educate the person on what to do, what not to do, and how prevention, that's part of public health. You might not have gone full into epidemiology and statistics, but you're already contributing to health education in the society. So that is also part of public health. So if it is easier for you to cope with public health, even though you might not have the whole full view, but it's easier for you to cope with public health because you can relate it to what you have done. Another example is a microbiologist applying for a biomedical science course. It is easy. It's something you've done. You might not have done advanced level, but it's something you've done that you are able to talk about it based on your educational background, even if you don't have so many years of experience. But just because you've done most of those things in school, it's just that you are going for advanced knowledge and advanced skills. So it's easier for you to talk about it, and it's easier for you to remember things when you are being asked. So do something that you have a passion for, you have done your research on, and you probably have an educational background or professional experience. The next one is to research about your school. Research about the department that is coordinating your school. Research about the facilities. Research about everything concerning your school and the department and the lecturers. Now, why I say this is because sometimes one of the questions that you might get is, why did you choose this particular school? In that letter that I was stating the reasons why the person was rejected for the student visa, one of the questions that the candidate was asked was, why did the person choose the particular school? And according to what they wrote, because they will type everything, they usually type your answers and they record it. And they wrote that he said, the person, I don't know if it's he or she, said that the school has world-class facility and blah 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 and the rest. And they were saying that most of the schools in the UK have world-class facilities. That is not a specific answer. So now I'm going to read something out so that you have an idea what they are asking when they ask you, why did you choose this school? Now, for context, this person is applying for a data science course at Nottingham University. So I'm going to read it out. What I'm reading out is what will form the basis of the answer if I'm supposed to answer that kind of question. The classes for data science, according to the website, is held at the Clifton campus, and it is also part of the computer science department. So now I'm going to read it. Now the classes are held at Clifton campus, and specifically in their IS Tech, whatever, I'll put it on the screen, IS Tech building that has a specialist data science teaching facility and 3D imagery lab. So if you say that the course is being held at Clifton campus, and Clifton campus has specialist data science technical and teaching facilities and 3D imagery lab, which is interesting. Also on that campus, they have a building called a pavilion building that is said to be carbon negative. Is said to be a carbon negative building that helps make it the greenest in the UK. So they are big on sustainability, environment at Clifton campus. They are also big on environmental protection, and even the campus has been awarded the green flag since 2012. So the Clifton campus also has other specialist laboratories for robotics. It has stunning architecture. It has peaceful spaces that can help with proper learning and help with the mental health. It also has the medical technology innovation facilities, and also has a cancer research center. So those are the facilities it has. If you mention those facilities, that it has this facility, it has this, which will make the learning process very comfortable and very enjoyable, and also you would be able to gain a lot of knowledge and skills because it's advanced. Those kind of things, mention those things. You have to mention. You cannot say world-class facility, you mention it. Now if you say it's sustainable, environmental protection and all the buzz, climate change and everything that they want to hear, they are going to be okay, you've already researched on your campus, you've researched on your school. And you have to be specific, because most times each class is held in, it might be in a different place, it might be in the same place. Each school is in a different, it might be in the same place. So you will pick the things, the facilities that are specific to you. When I mentioned all the other laboratories and everything, it's just to say that that place is really for science and health. So they'll be like, okay, you know what's going on. So those are the kind of things that you would talk about. You can also talk about where the campus is situated, and maybe if they say how much has been invested in the campus. Like for NTU, they said they've invested about over £20 million to ensure that that campus and the university becomes the university of the future. So those are kind of things that you say, okay, that's why I chose NTU. Okay, like I said, if you're talking about facilities, be specific. Most of the schools have facilities that they've named. So if you mention the name, they will know, like, okay. And please don't go and lie, because they most likely would check and confirm. So if you're going to mention the name, please let it be the right name. So that is all for that one. And the next thing that you should do is to research about your school. Research about where your school is located, cities that are close to your schools, what the city where your school is located is known for, and some other things that are concern the school. And now why I'm saying this, because they might ask you, what are the cities close to where your school is based, and the rest. Now some people will just say, okay, I'm going to Sheffield, this place is place, okay, like, I'm going to use Nottingham Trout as an example. Now some people might answer the question and say, oh, Nottingham is close to Derby, it's close to Lincoln, it's close to Leicestershire, it's close to Rutland, and that's all. That's not how to answer the question. Please, if you're going to answer that question, you have to go all out to show that you've done your research. Now I'm going to read out some things again so that you can have an idea of what you should answer for those kind of questions. Now I'm going to say Nottingham is part of East Midland. Now East Midland is one of the 9 official regions in England. East Midland comprises of Leicestershire, Derbyshire, Lincolnshire, Nottinghamshire, Northamptonshire and Rutland. Now Nottinghamshire is famous for its link to Robin Hood, that folk story that of a thief that steals from the, or outlaw that steals from the rich and gives to the poor. Nottingham was also where ibuprofen was discovered by Dr. Stewart Adams in 1961 when he was working at Boots. Now, that is something that is linked to Nottingham, and that's something you'll be like, okay, you've done your research. Also, Derbyshire, which is Derby or Derbyshire, is close to Nottingham. Now, Derbyshire played an important role in the development of the British rail industry. It is also home of the Derby Football Club, also known as the Rams, which were Wayne Rooney, towards the end of his active football career, decided to play for a year, and which was a surprise to a lot of people because he was a England player and also a former Manchester United player. Then Leicestershire is the home of Leicester Football Club that won the Premier League in 2015-2016 to the surprise of a lot of people. It is also the football club where a lot of Nigerians such as Kelechi Iheanacho, Ahmed Musa, Wilfred Ndidi have played or are playing in. There's also easy accessibility between all these counties because of the good transport system in the UK. So you can use buses and trains to commute between most of the counties or the city center. Now, that is more details than it's just Derby, Lincoln, Leicester, and the rest are close to Nottingham. Okay, so you really need to find things that are unique of each place when you're mentioning all those cities, so that they know that you've done your research. Now, when I was doing my research for Manchester, I discovered that the fruity drink called Vimto was discovered or was invented in Manchester. And like, wow. So if you mention that sort of those kind of things, they'll be like, okay, this person has really researched into the city. So basically, you have to research, and you don't have to go in depth to say the same thing everybody's saying. Look for things that are peculiar, that are different, and then say it. They'll be like, okay, this person has read wide. The fourth thing is to research about the UK. Research about the UK educational system. Research about the advantage of a UK education over global education in another country. So I'm going to give you some tips that you can use to answer the question, why did you choose UK to study? So one of the things is that UK prides itself as the country with the most courses that are given in English. So they pride themselves with the fact that if you are struggling with English and if English is not your first language, coming to the UK, you will be able to gain expertise in speaking and writing English, because most of the classes are in English. So if you want to develop your English skills and knowledge, UK is the best place to do that. So that's one of the things they pride themselves in. Another thing is, in the UK, you are going to get cultural diversity, because the fact is that in the UK, most times you will find your countryman there. That is the truth. Like almost every culture, almost every country or nationality is in the UK. So that's one of the things they really like pride themselves in. Because if you go to some other countries that offer global education, you might just be very, very few. You might find that you won't find somebody that you can relate with, like national wise or based on your country. So, but in the UK, most times there's no how you will not see one of your person, and that is one of the things that the UK prides itself in, that it is a place where there are diverse cultures and diverse nationalities. Another thing that the UK prides itself in is that it offers high quality of education. The education in UK is top notch. The education in UK is top notch, and it can be quite challenging when you start. But at the end of the day, you understand why it's that way. It's supposed to build independent thinking skills. It's supposed to give you some valuable skills that would make you cope anywhere in the world. So it's supposed to make you a better person and a more knowledgeable person. So they pride themselves on the fact that the education in UK is of high quality and it is always assessed continually. So every time they are doing quality check and the rest to make sure that they don't drop the ball. So that's one of the things that the UK prides itself in. Another thing is that most of their courses are 1 year, especially the postgraduate. So they say that that is an advantage in the fact that you spend less money by doing a 1 year course, and you are able to quickly get your skills and knowledge, and then be able to quickly get into the job market. So you'll be able to recover the money that you spent. So that's one of the advantages that they say. Another thing is that they also say that sometimes you can get practical experience in courses that offer internship and placement. Some courses don't do 1 year internship. Some courses do 100 hours in the 1 year course. Some courses do 6 months. So that's kind of one of the advantage of UK education. Another peculiar thing to the UK is that the UK boasts of academics that are world known and have impacted in the world positively. Like for instance, the Oxford and AstraZeneca COVID-19 vaccine is an example of that. The academics that were involved were in Oxford University in the UK. So that is kind of a plus for the UK educational system. Another thing is that UK education, UK degrees are highly valued all over the world. Now, there's no how someone will see you with a certificate from a university in the UK and be doubting so many things, because they know, first of all, you would have gone through the training. There's no forging, there's nothing. So that is one of the reasons why once you produce your certificate, everybody's like, hey, I know that it happens to me. So I said, what's happening? Okay, University of Nottingham. All right. So that's part of the advantage of a UK education. So now these points that I made, if you are able to coordinate yourself to explain it like that, there's no how they will not know that you've done research into UK education, and that question will be smooth and nicely done. So that is all for that. The next thing I would also say is research about your course and career prospect. Now you need to know what going in for a certain course, what you can do with that course. If you check most of the course website, that's your course page on the university website, you would always see at the end or in between somewhere career prospect, what the person that studies this course can do after graduation. There's always a list, because there are different aspects that you can specialize in depending on the skills and the knowledge that is offered you gain from the course. Now for public health, now I've said it before that there are different types of public health degrees. Master's degree. Now there are some master's degree that would not give you statistics. There are some public health master's degree that will not give you statistics knowledge and skills. Now those ones, you cannot really go into statistics with those kind of public health, so that's not what you are going to be able to achieve. So if you can say, I want to do I'm going to do health data analysis with a course, with a public health course that does not offer statistics or data science, you are just, most times they will look and say, it's like you don't know what you are going for. So you need to look at your course and look at what the career prospect. Now, if for instance the public health, the global public health at University of Westminster is combined with data science, which I love. So someone that takes that course, that public health course, is going to come out with skills to be able to do health data science. And that is hot cake right now. That person can also work as an epidemiologist. The person can also work as a health promotion specialist. The person can also work as an health educator, because the course outline teaches all that, gives all the skills and knowledge for those kind of roles. Now, that person will choose one aspect. If someone like that is being interviewed, will choose one aspect of that and know about the roles, know about the impact of that role, will probably know about the salary that person can earn in that role, would also know about institution or organizations where the person can work, because they might ask you, where do you see yourself working after graduation, what role, how much do you expect to earn, and the rest. I think they asked me that. So that kind of research will help you to be able to know what to say if you are asked that kind of question. So this is all for today's video. I know, yes, it is long and in 2 parts. Hopefully you watch both parts, and if you liked what you watched, please give it a thumbs up. And if you are not yet subscribed but you like videos like this, you want to know more about the UK educational system and life as an international student in the UK, please consider subscribing by clicking on the red button that says subscribe. And don't forget to click on the bell notification icon by the side so that you're notified anytime I upload videos. Now, with all that said, thank you so much for watching. I hope to see you in the next one. Bye.